Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Doing a little bit of work in the greenhouse, and I thought I'd do a little video of how to pollinate your desert rose. So I'm going to use one technique, and it uses a really specialized tool. I got a toothpick, y'all. That's what we're going to use to pollinate our desert rose today. So real simple. I like to choose a flower that is freshly opened up, maybe within a day or two, such as some examples right here. And of course, the more it's opened up, the better, because it helps with a more fresher pollen, of course. And if it's kind of wilted, it's been opened up for a week or even longer, of course, the chances of it taking is a little slim to none. So I got another flower right here. Of course, as you can tell, this one's opened up. This one's not quite opened up, so we could actually do this one in a couple days when it would fully open. So what we're going to do is, of course, we're going to take a flower. I'm going to show y'all a couple different ways to do it. So this way actually destroys the flower. So the first thing you want to do is right at the end where the little tube starts, you want to give it just a gentle squeeze. And if you're paying attention, just when you start to squeeze it, you'll feel like a little pop kind of sound in your fingers. And what that does is that causes it to open up inside. So this way actually destroys the flower, but ultimately that's going to be the initial goal. So you just grab it and you want to tear it and open it up into about 4 pieces. And what you can see is, you can see the reproductive parts of the flower. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take the end of our toothpick and we're going to open up into this top little port. And we're going to hold it open with our finger. And if you slide the toothpick over it, you can find little pieces of pollen, and it's really hard to see, guys. So I'm going to reach in there and see if I can find some. And a lot of times, if you see it or not, it doesn't really matter. And of course, it's like it might just be a small speck on the end of your Q-tip. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the end of it and you're going to reach in between the little notches, okay? And you're going to stick your toothpick in there. And of course, that's where the female reproductive part of the flower, and of course the pollen is the male part. And you're going to reach in between the little notches. You could twist your toothpick around and you'll feel where it kind of stops at inside, and you'll just want to twist it and move it. And ultimately what you're trying to do is release the pollen off of the toothpick into there. Okay, so the other way that you could do it is where, of course, you don't actually destroy the flower. Of course, once you finish, you could take the petals and just kind of close it up, and it'll stay like this for maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe a week. And as it falls off, of course, you'll be able to tell within a few days, you'll begin to see, and it'll look like 2 little buds that are starting to poke out from the flower, and do that away. So another way you could do is, again, you just squeeze the bottom of the tube, and when you feel that little pop, and of course you could use the same toothpick, and of course you could cross-pollinate also to try to get different colors, or occasionally you can make a flower that has multiple petals, and of course this is just a single petal. So you take your toothpick and you're going to reach in, and it's going to be basically the same method. You're going to look in there, and basically you're going to take your toothpick and you're going to jab inside right there by the stamen, and you're going to try to get that pollen, and you're going to push it even further back into those little notches that I showed you on the other flower. And the same way, you're going to push it back, and you're going to give it a slight twist motion back and forth. Okay, and you can do it a few times. And I guess the only difference is you get to save the flower doing it this way. I think doing it this way, where you actually tear the flower, you actually get to see more of what you're doing. You get to see some pollen on the end of your toothpick, and of course as you apply it on the back, and so forth and so on. So as you can tell, this flower is a little bit darker red, which tells you that it's a newer flower. So if I try to pollinate this one, I might would have a better chance of pollinating this one than I would an older one. So again, we're just gonna squeeze the bottom of the tube, use our toothpick, and it's gonna be the same method back and forth. And of course, it will normally be about 2 weeks after we have tried the pollination process right here. And of course, the most common natural pollinator is a type of moth, and they mostly come by in the dark. At night they'll come by, and they have a really long proboscis, or a long tongue that they're able to stick into the long tunnel tube of the flower. And of course, even hummingbirds, and of course the flower doesn't really produce a lot of nectar, so hummingbirds, I think they just attracted to the flower more than they are as a food source. So that's it. Of course, there's other ways, of course, of pollinating them. You could use a little small paintbrush instead of a toothpick, and it's the same method. You go in there and you kind of do like a little twisting method, and of course you get the same result. So like on this one also, you could take it, squeeze the tube. This one has like a bigger throat, so you can see in there a little bit bigger, and you just get in there, and the same thing, you kind of poke around in there. You know, you could pull it out. So like if you look really close, there is a little spot of pollen on the end of it. So what you want to do is take that and apply it to the inside to pollinate the ovary of the female part of the flower. And that's basically it, guys. So real quick, of course, you get your seed pods. One seed pod could have 40 to 50 seeds. I mean, so it's a real easy way to get you some more desert roses. It's simple. Even I could do it. So give it a try, guys, and give me a like, subscribe, and I'll keep some more videos coming for y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.